On the mound, getting his warm-up tosses in, it's right-hander Dylan Chisholm, a sophomore for the Norwell Knights. And taking a look at the Norwell defense in the outfield, left to right, Carter Costello is in left. Noah Shammerlow is in center. Kate Thornton is taking care of things in right. Infield, third to first. Drew Jolly, Caden Castle at short, William Case at second, Josh McBride at first, and Trey Privet is behind the plate. And once again, it's the sophomore. And see what kind of a start he can get off to. And I know that's one of the keys with starting pitching. A lot of times, you know, the adrenaline and the nerves, you want to get to them early if you get your best shot at them. And so we'll see how Dylan Chisholm, the young sophomore, manages this first inning against Northwood.
He looks like one of these guys that just sets himself up and just rears back and lets it go. But in watching him warming up, it looks like he's got command of a pretty nice breaking ball. So let's see. Warm-ups are a whole lot different than when the real time starts. And let's see how that works out in the game.
Once again, an impressive 1.11 earned run average on the season. And the first batter that steps into the batter's box to get this underway for the Northwood Panthers is Ian Bogan, a junior left fielder. He's going to be in the left-handed batter's box with a 307 average, 1 double, 1 triple, no homers. He's knocked in 14. A perfect day for baseball in Northwest Indiana. Chisholm gets the sign. He will work from the stretch with the bases empty, and the first pitch is a fastball a little upstairs for ball 1. Bogan will be followed by Sade Yoder and Finley Miller here in the top of the first. And the pitch, a little cutter inside, and it's 2-0 on the first batter of the game.
You just wonder how long he's, can he take the adrenaline and contain it to the amount that he needs to use?
And he's up high again, and that's a sign of the extra adrenaline, everything upstairs. He's 3-0 on Bogan. Walks haven't been a big problem this year through 50 and a third innings, just 17 of them. The 3-0 pitch is not close. It's high and outside, and it's a 4-pitch walk to start the day. And Northwood has a base runner with nobody out, and it brings up Sade Yoder, the designated hitter.
15 on the out. You're good. Let's go.
He's got to shake some things off now, because then control the emotions and throw the pitches that you can throw, because you're right, the adrenaline was there and a lot of that stuff was high.
Bogan with 4 stolen bases on the season, and the first pitch is outside, and it bounces off the glove of Privet. Heading down to second base is Bogan. So that'll go, I believe, as a pass ball. It was a little outside, but I think it's a ball that should have been caught. Regardless, you got a runner into scoring position and still nobody out.
You got to wonder if he was looking at the runner as well and trying to stab the ball and be ready to throw and didn't extend himself far enough to go out and grab the ball.
Yoder, a lefty at the plate, and this pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Yoder. Nobody out. Runner at second for Northwood. We just are underway here in the top of the first inning. Chisholm looks in for the sign. Bogan the lead off second. The stretch, the pitch, shows bunt, pulls the bat back, takes a curveball strike, and it's 1-2 on Yoder.
All he wishes he'd have made contact.
And now it'll be interesting. Do you take the bunt sign off with 2 strikes? Job here is to try to make sure you pull the ball on the right side of the infield and get that runner over to third with less than 2 outs. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's lifted shallow center in with room to make the play. Shammerlow, and nobody can tag, so it's the first out of the ball game on a shallow fly to center. And Bogan still at second base with Finley Miller getting a chance to bat before he pitches. The right-hander steps into the batter's box with a 460 average, 20 knocked in this season. He's got 5 doubles, 4 triples.
This is a guy they look to make some things happen offensively.
Bogan takes the lead off second. The stretch for Chisholm, and the pitch, curveball. And again, that gets past Privet. And on to third goes Bogan. A couple of pass balls, pretty costly here early.
Well, I made the observation he might have been trying to stab the ball to throw it on the runner. That one he just flat out missed.
1-0 count. for Miller. And it's lined to second and caught by William Case, the second baseman, and staying at third is Bogan. Hit it hard, but got an out of it.
And it's a huge out because now the infield can go back to play at normal depth and just play the batter and hopefully get out of this inning.
2 outs, runner at third. Northwood looking to strike first here in the top of the first inning with cleanup hitter Brody Rondeau. Rondeau, 360 average, 8 doubles, 3 triples, no homers. Has knocked in 28. And the pitch, a fastball that paints the black on the outside corner for a called strike.
Norwell hits 320, or excuse me, Northwood hits 327 as a team, so they do know what to do it up and down the lineup.
The set, the pitch, grounded left side of the infield and through the hole, a base hit, and that's going to bring in the first run of the game. Bogan, who walked to start the contest, a couple of pass balls got him to third, and with 2 outs, Brody Rondeau hits a single through the 5.5 hole, out just outside the diving attempt to shortstop Caden Castle, and Northwood strikes first. They lead it 1-0.
He made every effort he could to make that thing, and in all honesty, from our distance away, I thought he might have had it. But you know what? I don't think he'd have gotten the runner at first, and the run probably would have scored anyway.
Ryder Ransberger bats next for Northwood. 439 average, 14 doubles, 1 triple, 1 homer. And a breaking pitch is inside for ball 1.
Didn't break a lot.
Rondeau with 5 stolen bases takes the lead, and this one chopped to short weakly. Cutting it off is third baseman Drew Jolly. Throw to first, and he didn't get him. Ransberger beat it out. The slow roller on the left side of the infield headed toward the shortstop, but cut off on the angle by third baseman Drew Jolly. He threw quickly, but the speed of Ransberger able to beat out the grounder, an infield hit that puts runners at first and second and brings up Drew Raines as the inning continues.
Those 2 pass balls are really coming around to hurt Norwell.
Raines, junior shortstop, right-handed hitter against the righty on the mound, and this ball chopped right off the front leg of Raines. Raines a 278 average, 8 doubles, 2 triples, a home run, has knocked in 24 runs. 1-0, top of the first inning. Northwood strikes first against the Norwell Knights. 2 outs, runners at first and second, and an 0-1 count on Raines. Raines back in the batter's box. Rondeau, the runner at second. Ransberger, the runner at first. The 0-1. Hard slider breaks off the outside corner for a ball that evens the count 1-1.
He did not come set very much on that pitch after he took the stretch. Let's see if they call that next time.
The set, the pitch, good fastball at the knees on the outside corner to get ahead in the count, 1-2.
He must have been okay on the thing because James Payne at second base was looking right at him.
Again, Chisholm checks the runner at second, and a big slider that sweeps far off the outside corner will even it up 2-2.
Hey, come on, bud. Deep breath.
That one almost started toward the outside corner and broke a couple of feet off the plate, and a good job that time by Privet to reach out and make the catch. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out, and that will retire the side. But the Northwood Panthers strike first here in the top of the first inning. They get a run on a couple of hits and leave 2 on base. Norwell coming to bat, bottom of the first inning next. 1-0. Northwood leads it on the high school baseball game of the week, presented by PSM Baseball and Shelton Financial Group on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Northwood leads it 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the first inning, with Norwell coming to bat and checking the defense for the Panthers, who wear white pants, black jerseys, a black hat with a red bill. In the outfield, Ian Bogan is in left, Brady Blackbird is in center, Brady Weaver in right. The infield, Jet Ruley is down at third, Drew Raines the shortstop, second baseman is Colin Leckleitner, and at first base is Brody Rondeau. Ryder Ransberger is behind the plate as the catcher, and on the mound it's the lefty Finley Miller. He's had an outstanding season with a 5-1 record, 2.71 earned run average, 49 innings of work. He has struck out 78 while walking 23, and he will face Norwell Knights, top third of the order, with William Case leading it off, Noah Shamerlow batting second, Caden Castle will hit in the 3 spot.
Case knows how to get on base. I mean, he leads the team in hits, and he's tied for the lead in walks. So you want the guy who can set the table at the top? There's your guy.
3 straight seniors at the top of the order for the Norwell Knights. Case, the .395 average, 7 doubles, a triple, no homers, has knocked in 15 runs. The senior second baseman, right-handed batter against the southpaw. And Miller will wind up and bring the first pitch, and that's on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1.
Case in there with a little bit of an open stance here.
Miller gets the sign. Curveball down and in, hit the dirt. Evens the count up 1-1 on Case, the leadoff man for the Knights here in the bottom of the first. Norwell trails 1-0. The windup, the 1-1, high and tight, 2-1. Strange defensive alignment for Northwood. Left fielder Ian Bogan in a normal left field position. Brady Blackford in center is shallow, and the right fielder way over by the right field line, and a curveball's up high, and it's an advantage count to Case, 3-1.
And the center fielder is also shaded a little bit toward right, so this is another one of those situations where you go to that left center field hole, you might run a while.
And he lines the 3-1 back into the screen behind home. He was right on it. Works the count full. Miller gets the sign and the full windup with the payoff pitch. And that is inside for Bolt. No, it's a called strike. A late call from the umpire on a pitch that looked like it was inside.
At least that's what the batter thought. I thought it was a pretty good pitch, and I think the umpire was thinking about, okay, yeah or no, and finally it was yeah.
So he rings up Case with a strikeout, and it brings up Noah Shamerlow, a lefty-lefty combination here, and the first pitch is a fastball that's right down Broadway for strike 1.
Yeah, when it's right like that, it doesn't take any time to make the call.
Shamerlow, a .371 average, 10 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs, and that one fouled straight back into the screen in front of us. And it's quickly 0-2 on Shamerlow.
Not a bad crowd. A lot of them extended the blankets and are sitting on the grass.
And curveball doesn't curve, stays high and tight. Ball on 2 strikes.
Got a little tent action going down the third baseline, too, with some fans.
Lots of tents. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch. A curveball swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Norwell here in the bottom of the first inning.
He really pulled the string well on that one. He was way out in front of it.
2 outs, bases are empty for number 3 hitter Caden Castle, senior shortstop with a .400 batting average. Pressure's on here. If he gets a hit, he stays above .400. If he makes an out, he drops, and he lines it center field. Over quickly to his right is Brady Blackford, and Blackford will make the catch, and the side is retired. Good line drive, but it just stayed in the air long enough for Blackford to run to it in the left center field gap. And that is a 1-2-3, bottom of the first for the Norwell Knights. So the Knights go down in order, and we head to the second inning with Northwood leading it 1-0 over the Norwell Knights on your high school baseball game of the week, the Class 3A LaPorte Semi-State on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. We talked about it before the game that sometimes mistakes prove costly at this level of baseball. And the Norwell Knights had a couple of passed balls in the top of the first inning, and that led to a run coming in with 2 outs. They lead it 1-0, and now Northwood bats here at the top of the second. The first pitch from Dylan Chisholm is a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. Jet Ruley, Brady Weaver, Brady Blackford, the bottom 3 in the order for the Panthers. And that one's grounded right back to the box. Off the glove momentarily for Chisholm, but he reaches down, collects it at his feet, throws over to first to retire Ruley on a 1-3 putout.
Right fielder, number 8, Brady Weaver.
That brings up Brady Weaver, a 247 average, couple of doubles, 3 triples, no homers. He's knocked in 15 runs. He'll bat from the left-handed batter's box with an open stance against the right-hander Dylan Chisholm. And he swings way ahead of a breaking pitch that may have been out of the zone for strike 1.
Another one of those nice, effective pull the string on the pitch, and he's way in front again.
Batting in that 8 spot, he's going up there thinking fastball all the way on the first pitch. Just totally fooled. This pitch is a fastball, but it's a little high, just above the zone, and it evens the count 1-1. Third baseman up almost even with the bag. And a curveball that broke right into him and hit him in the belt buckle. Hit by pitch with 1 out. Weaver aboard.
Batting at the center fielder, number 11, Brady Blackford.
And it'll bring up number 9 hitter Brady Blackford, a junior center fielder with a 328 average. Checking and making sure everything is okay down at first base with Weaver, and now he'll take his lead. He's got 5 stolen bases. Chisholm will work from the stretch, check the runner and the pitch. Right back to the mound, a chance for 2, throw to second. Kessel, the relay, not in time. Good speed down the line by Blackford, but they got the lead runner out at second base for the second out of the inning, and it turns it over to the top of the order, batting for the second time through, and Ian Bogan.
Chisholm made a nice play on that one. He turned and made the play to grab the ball, and actually threw a ball that second that I thought it was going to be turned and it would be a double play, but the second baseman I think had a little bit of a grip problem and was a little late with the throw.
So it's Blackford taking the lead off first. And the pitch, breaking ball that comes right over the outside edge. Brought it in the back door to Bogan, and it's 0-1. Bogan, a left-handed hitter, drew a walk in the first inning, advanced to third on a couple of pass balls, and then scored with a 2-out base hit by Brody Rondeau. Swing and a miss, and it's an 0-2 hole for Bogan. This wouldn't be a bad time to go ahead and send Blackford. Refresh if he gets thrown out. And there he goes. The pitch high and outside. Throw to second, and it got him.
That was a great throw.
Almost like a pitch out, a pitch up and away. And Privet to the shortstop, Castle covering, and easily retired is Brady Blackford, and that will be the third out of the top of the second inning. Nothing comes across, and we will head to the bottom of the second next. Northwood still leading 1-0 over the Norwell Knights on the high school baseball game of the week, presented by PSM Baseball and Shelton Financial Group on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Coming up later today, we've got Andrean versus Dick Halb. That will be our second semifinal game in the Class 3A semi-state here at LaPorte. Here in the bottom of the second, we've got Northwood leading Norwell 1-0, and the Knights will send the heart of their order. Hitters 4, 5, and 6. Privet, Jolly, and Costello to face left-hander Finley Miller for the Northwood Panthers. First pitch, fastball on the outside corner for a called strike to Trey Privet, 395 hitter, 4 doubles, couple of triples, and a home run. Privet bats from the right side against the southpaw. The windup and the 0-1 pitch on the way. That is down and in, and evens the count 1-1.
It's an interesting thing. Privet is leading off the inning. once again, the guy who makes the really nice play to end the inning at the top of it is the guy that leads off the inning. Because Privet made an absolutely fabulous throw to second base to get that runner.
The 1-1. Chop foul, third base side. Miller is ahead, 1-2 on Privet, the cleanup hitter for the Knights. Junior. Miller with the glove in front of his face. Hand over the baseball, and he will start the windup and bring the 1-2. Curveball or fastball's up high. Evens at 2-2 on Privet. Wind blowing out to center. An absolutely gorgeous day. Hardly a cloud in the sky. And the pitch. That's inside, and it's gone the distance on Privet to start things in the bottom of the second for the Norwell Knights. 1-0 Northwood. Norwell at the plate, the payoff pitch. And that's fouled out of play on the first base side. And we'll do the 3-2 all over again.
Notice this is another one of those fields where you got a lot of room to field in the foul territory.
Yeah, there is a ton of green grass.
Can't give up on a ball.
Miller looks in, gets the sign, winds up, and the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Third strikeout of the game for Finley Miller. Fastball toward the top of the zone, and Privet swung through it. And a great start so far for the Northwood lefty, and he'll face Drew Jolly with one out and the base is empty. Jolly, a right-handed batter, junior third baseman with a .329 average. And a curveball, that's chopped foul over to third base coach's box. Christian Bohata makes a two-hop play. 0-1. Fastballs high and outside. 1-1 on Jolly.
Their pitchers are they're just bringing it now. Both of them are.
6 doubles, a triple, 3 home runs, and that one's fouled straight back behind home. Ball and 2 strikes on Jolly. 3 homers, tied for the team high in home runs with Noah Shammerlow. The left-hander brings it, and that is in there for a called strike, but it's dropped. They'll complete the put-out with a throw to first, and that is 4 strikeouts out of the first 5 outs of the game for Finley Miller.
And 6 to left fielder, number 32.
The rep on him is he's not Northwood's ace for no reason. He's got the goods.
Yeah, kind of a lofty earned run average for an ace at 2.71, but 78 strikeouts in 49 innings coming in kind of gets your attention. A slider that slid inside. 1-0 on Carter Costello. Miller now has thrown 50 2/3 innings with 82 strikeouts. That's in tight, and it's 2-0.
See this umpire, it's like he thinks about it a little bit before he makes the call one way or the other.
The windup and the 2-0 pitch, and he swings and chops it on the bat handle. Goes off his foot into foul territory. I think that was ball 3. That was in really tight on Costello, but he took the 2-0 hack at it. Bases are empty, 2 outs, bottom of the second inning. Northwood leading it 1-0. And the 2-1 pitch. Fouled straight back, 2-2.
A little late on the pulling the trigger of that one, but still fouled it straight back. So, again, on it, even though he was a little late.
Norwell's fouled a number of pitches straight back, so they've timed it pretty well. Just haven't gotten the balls in play with 4 strikeouts in the first 5 outs. The pitch, that's fouled out of play. Count stays 2-2 on Carter Costello as Northwood lefty Finley Miller tries to strike out the side. Gets his sign. He'll wind up. And the pitch. Fastball low and outside. He's gone the distance. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Costello.
Fastball tailed a little bit of away, and he was able to stay off of it.
Noah Clark, a sophomore designated hitter, hoping for a chance. Here comes the payoff. And it's grounded up the middle. Over is the shortstop, Raines. Quick throw to first. Got him! Bang, bang play on a weak hit grounder up the middle. Cut off by shortstop Drew Raines, and just in time to retire Costello and end the Knights' second. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. To the third we go. It's still a 1-0 Northwood lead over the Norwell Knights on the high school baseball game of the week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Heading to the third inning here in LaPorte, game 1 of 2 in the semi-state semifinals, and through 2 complete innings, Northwood a 1-0 lead over Norwell. Norwell has the top of their order coming to bat. Ian Bogan, who was at the plate when Norwell threw out Brady Blackford trying to steal. So Bogan steps in with a fresh count, and the first pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. Bogan a walk, advanced on a couple of pass balls, and scored the only run of the game with a 2-out base hit from Brody Rondeau. And that fastball's up high, evens it up 1-1. Dylan Chisholm on the mound, the sophomore for the Knights. 5-2 record with a 1.11 earned run average. He works from the stretch even with the bases empty, and his fastball's too high. And once again, getting behind 2-1 to Bogan. Bogan drew the only walk allowed by Chisholm so far. The pitch. That one right at the top of the zone, taken for a strike. Evens it up 2-2 on the Panthers' leadoff man. A run in the top of the first, the only run on the board. Curveball, and that one slipped out of the grip and stayed very high. And it's a full count now for Bogan. Checking the sign. Chisholm will work from the stretch and the payoff. And that bounces in and goes to the backstop. And that will be a full count walk to Bogan. And he's on for the second time.
Well, they got him around the last time he got on with a walk. Let's see what they do here.
So a 278 hitter steps into the left-handed batter's box. You got to wonder about the bunt, and Norwell brings in their third baseman Drew Jolly to the edge of the grass, and he shows bunt, misses it, fire to first behind the runner, and diving back is Bogan. The pitch is a strike. I think the umpire appealed it to make sure, but he offered it the pitch, and so it's 0-1.
It looked like they were going to try and fake a coming to cover the bunt.
Here's a bunt, missed that one. Another throw to first, close play, but he's back. But it's an 0-2 count now on Yoder.
McBride is playing the bunt, but he's also staying close enough to the bag that if they want to try the pickoff, which they have twice now, he'd be ready for that too.
He's taking the big secondary, hoping that the bunt is put down, but Yoder 0 for 2 on bunt tries. 0-2 hole now. Weak chopper to second base. They'll go for the lead runner, and Case fires to Kessel just by a step, gets the lead runner out at second base.
That was a risk. You know, you had a pretty sure out at first base, and you're right, that play was very close at second, and that could have really backfired and left Norwell in a bit of a situation.
A slow chopper that Case, the second baseman, had to drift a little bit to the first base side, but he pivoted and threw a good strike to Kessel and got the lead runner. So now runner at first is Yoder for Finley Miller. And the pitch in the dirt, ball 1, blocked nicely by Privet behind the dish. Miller hit one on the screws, but he hit it right at second baseman William Case for a line out. His only time up in the first inning. A 460 hitter, 5 doubles, 4 triples. Looking to help himself. And the pitch Swing and a foul tip into the glove. And that will even it up 1-1 on Miller.
Norwell very aware of Bogan at first base.
Yoder, the runner at first, and the chopper up the middle of the diamond. Takes 3 big hops. Castle steps on the bag, throws to first. Double play. A high 2-hopper right to the second base bag, and Castle, the shortstop, gloved it with a foot on the bag and then fired to first. The double play ends the Northwood third. They have no runs, no hits, and no one left on base. We head to the bottom of the third inning. Northwood leads it 1-0 over the Norwell Knights on the high school baseball game of the week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Through 2 innings, Finley Miller has been perfect. A 1-2-3 first with 2 strikeouts, a 1-2-3 second with a pair of strikeouts, and now he faces the bottom third of the Norwell order with Northwood leading it 1-0. Brett Rump with Dean Pantazi here in LaPorte. Adam Lundy is our studio producer. Coming up later, we will have DeKalb versus Andrean. Noah Clark, first batter for the Knights, an open stance in the right-handed batter's box against the southpaw. And the first pitch is in there for a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Clark, the sophomore designated hitter, comes in with a .255 average, a double, no triples, no homers. He's had 16 knocked in. The 0-1. That pitch lifted in the air to right field. Right at the position where Brady Weaver only had to move about a step or two to make the catch. Had him positioned perfectly on that lazy fly out to medium right. And so with 1 out, it brings up Josh McBride. McBride's hitting .400, but he's only played 3 games. Lefty, and it's grounder up the middle. It's got a chance to sneak through. It's cut up by the shortstop Raines, and no play. Infield hit for Josh McBride, and that is the first hit and first base runner for the Norwell Knights here in the bottom of the third inning. Representing the tying run, Norwell trailing at 1-0. And number 9 hitter, Cade Thornton. Last 2 hitters, last names, McBride and Thornton. The fathers, couple of pretty solid basketball coaches in our area.
And I know that McBride is here. Mike McBride is seated right behind the Norwell dugout.
Thornton, a right-handed batter with a .246 average. The lead off first for McBride, and the pitch way high and outside. Ball 1. Cade Thornton, a junior right fielder. Slightly open stance, right-handed hitter with the lefty on the mound. Finley Miller going to the stretch, and the pitch. Fastball at the knees, paints the black. Evens the count up 1-1 on Thornton. Pretty good lead for McBride, the sophomore off first base. 1 out and a throw to first, and diving back quickly is McBride. And a lot of times, Dean, that's the one-way lead. You get a lead that's big enough to draw a throw, but you're leaning, so you're getting a head start on that jump back to the bag just to see the pitchers move. Pitch, bunt, and foul. That's a ball and 2 strikes on Thornton, hitting in the 9 spot. Top of the order due up next with William Case.
They're expecting a bunt from Thornton. The third baseman is in on the grass at third.
1-2 count. See if they keep the bunt on. The pitch, and he lines it out behind the home plate. Foul.
Pulled the trigger late.
Just protecting on that outside corner, and so it stays 1 ball, 2 strikes on Thornton. McBride, the 1-out single at first base. Swing and a miss, strikeout of Thornton, and that's number 5 so far for Finley Miller, and it's the second out of the third. Back to the top of the order. William Case, 395 average when the play started, and he struck out looking on a borderline pitch in the bottom of the first inning. And there goes the runner. They got him picked off. Throw to second, and that will be it. They picked him on the throw to first, and first baseman Rondeau to shortstop Drew Raines, and McBride is picked off. So that will end the Norwell third. They do get a base runner and a base hit, but they do not leave him on base. So we're through 3 complete. It's still a 1-0 Northwood lead over Norwell in the Class 3A semi-state here in LaPorte, presented by Shelton Financial Group and PSM Baseball on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Northwood comes to bat in the 4th inning to face right-hander Dylan Chisholm. Northwood leads it 1-0, and the first batter is cleanup hitter Brody Rondeau. Takes a slider way off the plate for ball 1. Rondeau knocked in the only run of the game back in the first inning, a 2-out single that split the shortstop and third baseman. And this time he pulls it a little early, and it goes down into the foul territory down the third base side. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike on Rondeau. 360 average. Right-handed batter with a right-handed pitcher. And time is called.
Very late call for timeout by the batter. But it was granted. And now we're given a question, maybe was it early enough?
That's the discussion out of the third base dugout. Is Norwell's head coach Christian Bohada. And, they called that a balk. And how can they call a balk? There's nobody on base. If he works from the stretch, he doesn't have to have the full pause. That ball lined right field, but it's right at Cade Thornton. And a sinking liner that he had to reach down by his feet and make the catch.
The hook fooled him. It really was hooking toward the line and dying, and he ended up making a very difficult play.
Yeah, had the top spin with a little bit of a slice toward the line, and he just had to reach down at the last second and snare it. But he does make the catch, and that's the first out of the 4th, with Ryder Ransberger now stepping in. We'll get an explanation. We fortunately have a man in blue up here in the press box, and we'll find out about that call. That's a curveball that's low and outside. The stretch for Chisholm. The pitch. Fastball high. 2-0. Dylan Chisholm, a sophomore right-hander on the mound. And the pitch, that's upstairs. He's balling behind 3-0. He's only walked 1 batter in the game, but he walked him twice. So officially 2 walks so far for Chisholm. But he's in danger here against Ransberger, and the pitch is right in the middle of the zone for strike 1, 3-1. Ransberger, an infield single, his only time up in the first. The 3-1, and it's popped high in the air. Is it playable? It's behind home and back, giving it a look. Trey Privet, the catcher, and it's out of play. Chisholm trying to come all the way back from a 3-0 count. It's now 3 balls, 2 strikes on the Northwood catcher. Check of the sign. And the right-hander delivers. And a swing and a miss. Coming back from a 3-0 hole, he strikes out Ransberger, and that is his second strikeout of the game.
Yeah, he just challenged him with the high heat and won the challenge.
2 outs, bases are empty, with Drew Raines stepping in. Raines was the other strikeout victim of Chisholm back in the first. 1-0 game. Northwood running the first, and they're making it hold so far. And the first pitch to Raines is in there for a strike. 0-1.
Chisholm is really mixing up his pitches nicely.
Stretch, the pitch, right off the end of the bat, goes back to the screen, and he's ahead of Raines 0-2.
Now I'm looking for him to come back with a breaking ball of some sort.
No balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Big breaking ball. Check swing not offering is Raines, so the count is 1-2 on Northwood's junior shortstop. Raines a 278 average for the season. Waits on the 1-2. A fastball is a little low.
You have to wait on this umpire's call because he sometimes really thinks about it before he makes it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And that one is lined to the third baseman, Drew Jolly. It'd have been a great play if I could have seen it.
Well, I saw it, and it was a good play.
It was right behind the pillar. And so line drive to third, and that is it for the inning. A couple of well-hit balls, but a couple of line-outs, and it's a 1-2-3, top of the fourth. We're halfway through the first semi-state semifinal here in LaPorte, and a slim lead for Northwood. 1-0 over Norwell on the high school baseball game of the week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Bottom of the fourth on the way here with Norwell coming to bat, trailing 1-0 to the Northwood Panthers, and it is the top of the order. This is the time for Norwell. William Kay steps in, right-handed hitter against the southpaw Finley Miller, and he takes a pitch high and outside for ball 1. Case was at the plate when McBride got picked off to end the bottom of the third inning. The windup and the pitch grounded right to short. Raines up with it and a throw to first in time, and there's one away. So far, just 1 hit in the game for the Knights. McBride an infield single last inning.
And they've only had 1 ball out of the infield.
And that is their only base runner. Miller has mowed down Norwell so far. The windup and the pitch to Shimmerlow is taken down low for ball 1. Shimmerlow a strikeout victim in the first. Lefty-lefty matchup. Miller winds and delivers. And that one almost hit him. In fact, I don't know how it missed him. It'll even up the count 2-0. I'm sorry. It's not even. It's 2-0 on Chamberlain. Miller delivers. And that one did hit him. Hit him off the hand. And he's going to get first base. A hit by pitch. Missed him on the the pitch before, but the second one came in tight and hit the front hand for Shimmerlow. And he goes down to first, a 1-out base runner, representing the tying run for Norwell.
Either he was fooled by the pitch, or he just stood in there and said, I'm taking one for the team.
Well, that's what they're asking about right now with Zach Benko coming out to talk to the umpire. He just wants to make sure he didn't lean into it or take it intentionally.
Well, if he took it intentionally, he paid a little bit of a price because that stung.
So a base runner at first, representing the tying run in a 1-0 game with Caden Castle in the right-handed batter's box, and he fouls one out of play. 0-1. Castle lined one hard toward left center that was cut off by center fielder Brady Blackford. He's 0 for 1 after starting the game an even 400. The set. Check of Shimmerlow and the pitch. Hit hard up the middle and into center field. That's a base hit. Shimmerlow will put on the brakes after rounding second. But Norwell with their biggest threat of the game now with 2 on for cleanup hitter Trey Privet.
That ball was as stung as a ball had been hit by Norwell all day.
Well, for Castle, we talked about it. He came in even 400. And after the line out, he would have dropped below 400. But now he gets the base hit, which makes it 1 for 2 in the game. And so he is safely above 400 on the season.
More important. more importantly, they've got a runner on second base.
The tying run at second, the go-ahead run at first. Privet, who's knocked in 18 on the year, stepping into the batter's box. The biggest jam for Finley Miller so far. And a bunt, and a good one. Third base side, Miller off, fields, but no play, and everybody's safe.
Now, do you call that a hit, or do you call it a fielder's choice?
That is a base hit all the way.
Because I think what he was trying to do is deep the runner to come around and make the play around third, and he didn't buy it.
A beautiful bunt on the third base side. You brought the lefty all the way over to halfway between the mound and third. When he fielded it, made the big pivot to first, there was no chance to get Privet. So the bases are loaded, one out. Drew Jolly due up, and a conference on the mound.
And a conference in the fall in the outfield or down the third base line. Both teams are talking things over.
A 1-0 game with Norwell batting, bottom of the fourth inning.
The Norwell confab going on between third and home is, what are we going to do? Are we bunting? What do we do if there's a fly ball? Do we come back and tag at either base? All kinds of options now that Norwell has, with the situation being as optimum as it can be. Bases loaded, and a great chance to score.
And you've got the umpire finally going out as Northwood head coach Zach Manko, I think, was going through every option that Norwell had available and explaining it to his defense before finally our home plate umpire went out and said, that's enough. So the conference broken up, and the batter stepping into the box is Drew Jolly, a junior third baseman with a .329 average, and he leads Norwell with 24 runs batted in. Defense will come in on the corners, double play depth up the middle. A 1-0 Northwood lead, and the pitch, a slow curveball swung on and missed, 0-1. Jolly struck out looking his only time up. It's 0-1. It's Shammerlow at third, Castle at second, Privet at first. Norwell, a big threat here in the bottom of the fourth. Drew Jolly, junior third baseman in the right-handed batter's box against the southpaw Finley Miller. The pitch, and he does show bunt. He pops it in the air. It's playable, and the catcher will get back to it in foul ground and make the catch.
You rarely see a bunt that's missed pop that high into the air. It's usually a little lazy pump and sometimes not able to be played, but that one went way up.
Foul ground pop-up bunt, and that is a huge play. The second out, you're going to hear a huge roar from the Northwood fans if Miller can work out of this jam. Trying to protect a 1-0 lead. Bottom of the fourth. Bases are full now with Carter Costello, and he swings through a fastball, 0-1. Costello ground out to short to end the second inning. He's 0-1. Right-handed batter. Bases full. Here's the pitch, and that's outside, 1-1. Again, Norwell with a runner at every base in a 1-0 game. 2 outs, a 1-1 count for Costello. The pitch, it's high and tight, and it's 2-1.
Just missed him. He did make the effort to get out of the way, but it just missed him even at that.
Costello, a sophomore left fielder that has yet to be introduced to Max Preps, where we get our stats, so we have no numbers for Costello. But a big at bat for the sophomore. The 2-1. Outside, ball 3, and it wasn't close. I think Norwell's fine with him drawing an RBI walk here.
Now, is the take sign on, or what do you think?
I might have him take. 3 balls, 1 strike. We've got 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. A 1-0 game, but Norwell with the bases loaded, and the 3-1 from Miller. And he swings, foul ground, first base side, and it will get just out of play.
First baseman made the run all the way over to the fence because he knows there's a lot of real estate they have to cover.
Big pitch here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners will get a head start. Northwood 1, Norwell nothing. The Knights at the plate looking to tie it up. And the pitch. And he takes a strike on the outside corner. Just a fastball right to the outside corner, and Costello never took the bat off his shoulder. That will end the inning, and the Knights leave the bases loaded. They have 2 hits, no runs, no errors, and leave all 3 runners on base. Still a 1-0 Northwood lead over the Norwell Knights. We'll head to the 5th next on the high school baseball game of the week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Northwood has to work out of trouble in the bottom of the 4th, but what a job for Finley Miller to strike out Costello to end the frame with the bases full. And now we go to the 5th. It's still a 1-0 Northwood lead over Norwell. Northwood bats with the bottom third of their order, starting with Jet Ruley, sophomore third baseman. Hit a 1-hopper back to the mound. His first time up, he's 0 for 1, and he takes a fastball up and in for ball 1. Well, Northwood with the momentum right now, and that's something that Chisholm has to take away from them. Give your offense another shot next inning. Swing and a miss. An elevated slider. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ruley. Leading it off for Northwood, bottom of the 5th. Hitters 7, 8, and 9 due up. The pitch. Big breaking ball, and that drops in for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ruley.
He really sold that with a really big wind-up and delivery, and then it wasn't a fastball.
The 1-2. Another big breaking ball swung on and missed. That is strikeout number 3 for Chisholm. And it brings up Brady Weaver with 1 out, and the base is empty for Northwood here in the top of the 5th, with the Panthers leading it over the Knights 1-0. Northwood a run on 2 hits. Norwell no runs on 3 hits.
Northwood hasn't had a hit since the first inning.
Fastball high, ball 1. Weaver, a 247 average, was hit by a pitch back in the 2nd. Open stance against the right-handed pitcher and a curveball that breaks down and in, and it's 2-0 on Weaver. Weaver hits in the 8th spot, a sophomore. Panthers won the head-to-head last year at this semi-state. Northwood trying to get a little revenge. That pitch fouled on the third base side. It's 2-1. The stretch for Chisholm. The sophomore brings the pitch, and that's low and inside, and it's 3-1. First batter of the game got on with a walk. A couple of pass balls got him to third, and then he came in with 2 outs, and that's the only run we've had in the game. Fouled out of play, and now it's 3-2 on Weaver.
Come on, Dylan. Win it. Let's go.
Dylan Chisholm brings the payoff, and it's inside ball 4. It's only his 3rd walk of the game, and the first one to someone not named Ian Bogan. Bogan's walked twice, and now the walk to Weaver with 1 out. Northwood has a base runner for number 9 hitter Brady Blackford. Left-handed batter. Weaver his leadoff first, and the pitch low and inside. It's 1-0 on Blackford. Blackford hit into a fielder's choice back in the 2nd. He's 0 for 1. 328 hitter on the season with 7 doubles, a triple, no homers. The righty-lefty combo, and this one popped in the air. Foul ground, third base side, and over to take a look is Jolly, the third baseman, but that goes into the tent area and is out of play. Beautiful day in Northwest Indiana. Abundant sunshine, comfortable temperatures. Fans enjoying it here at the 3A Semi-State. The pitch, low and inside. 2-1 now on Blackford.
That got away just a little bit, but way short of the mark it had to be for the runner to take a chance.
Weaver, the one-out base runner at first. And the pitch, that's lined hard center field. Charging is Shammerlow. He'll make the catch, throw to first, and the runner back.
That's a great throw.
And good hustle by the catcher, Privet, who ran all the way down, and he was already in position to back up that throw to first. Good alert play.
Ball hung up for Shammerlow a little bit, gave him a little bit of an impetus to be able to take the time to get in and make the running catch.
So the liner to center for the second out of the inning, and still at first base, Brady Weaver. For the top of the order, Ian Bogan. And Bogan, a check swing on a pitch in the dirt. Blocked nicely by Privet at the plate. It's 1-0. 2 outs. We're in the top of the fifth inning. Northwood with a 1-0 lead over Norwell. The right-hander to the left-hander, and the pitch is low, 2-0. Bogan walked in the first, walked in the third. 307 batting average. And the pitch, and that's in there for a strike. That'll even it up at 2-2. Correction, it's 2-1. That evens it up at 2-2. Inside corner, outside corner. Now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Bogan. 2 outs, top of the fifth inning. And the pitch, that's outside. It's gone the distance on Bogan. So a head start for Brady Weaver, the runner at first. Chisholm delivers, and he missed it. It's the third walk of Bogan and the second walk of the inning. And that's going to lead to a conference on the mound. Now you've got runners at first and second. There's 2 outs. We're in the top of the fifth inning. Northwood with a 1-0 lead. Northwood's lone run came back in the first inning when Bogan walked. A couple of pass balls got him to third. He stayed there until 2 outs, and a big 2-out hit by Brody Rondeau, the cleanup hitter, knocked him in. And that's the only run of our ball game. Conference is over, and it's time for Sade Yoder, the sophomore designated hitter for Northwood, to step into the left-handed batter's box. It's Weaver at second, Bogan the runner at first. 2 outs, 1-0 Northwood lead. And the pitch way outside for ball 1. Yoder, a fly out to center and a fielder's choice. 0 for 2 after starting the day, 278 average. The set and the pitch. Just above the zone, very close. It's 2-0. And you've got Finley Miller, the Panthers pitcher and number 3 hitter, hoping to get a chance in the on-deck circle. And that's in there for a strike at the letters, and it's 2 balls and a strike now on Yoder. This is the guy you want, and that may have been what the conference was about. You don't want to give Miller a chance to break this game open. And a line drive foul the opposite way, wide of the third base line. Norwell does have activity in their bullpen. They've got a pitcher up and throwing.
He was just a little late on that one.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. And the pitch, breaking ball, little chin music, got up and in on Yoder, and now it's a 3-2 count on Yoder. Dylan Chisholm, sophomore righty, with the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He just fired a fastball down the middle, and Yoder swings through it. That will end the Northwood fifth. No runs, couple of base runners on 2 walks, and 2 runners left on base. After 4.5, it's still a 1-0 lead. Northwood over Norwell. On the high school baseball game of the week, the Class 3A semi-state semifinal being presented by Shelton Financial Group and PSM Baseball on 1380 The Fan at 100.9 FM. With Dean Pantazi, I am Brett Rump in LaPorte, Indiana at LaPorte High School and Schreiber Field. Beautiful facility up here in the northwest part of the state. It is the Class 3A semi-state and semifinal game number 1 between the Northwood Panthers and the Norwell Knights. Adam Lundy is our studio producer. Norwell comes to bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning, trailing 1-0, and they will send the bottom third of their order. The first pitch is low and outside for ball 1 to Noah Clark.
They really would like to make up for not having that opportunity answered at the last inning.
That's a fastball that's in there for a strike. 1-1 on Clark, who flew out to right field his first time up. Clark, the sophomore designated hitter, open stance from the right-handed batter's box against the lefty Finley Miller, and the slow breaking ball stays high. 2-1. It'll be Clark, McBride, and Thornton. The pitch, outside, ball 3. Bean, you mentioned the bottom of the 4th, hit by pitch, couple of singles, loaded the bases with 1 out, but a foul pop on a bunt and a strikeout ended the Norwell threat, and that is a 5-pitch walk to Noah Clark to start the Knights' 5th.
Well, Norwell's got to figure something out to get somebody across the base station, because we are starting to hit the later portions of this game.
That is the first walk of the game allowed by Finley Miller. He's hit a batter, but that's the first walk. And we will get a courtesy runner.
Give me an update on the 1A state. Blackhawk has a 9-5 lead on North Miami after 6. So they're closing in on possibly making the final there tonight.
Landon Clark is the base runner. So one Clark running for the other. And now the batter is Josh McBride. Throw to first, and easily back is Clark.
McBride has one of 3 Norwell hits.
McBride got the first hit back in the 3rd. He's 1 for 1. And the pitch shows bunt, takes it high and outside, ball 1. And that is now 5 of 6 this inning that have been outside the zone for Finley Miller. He has really been on point. In fact, the first 2 innings struck out 4 of the first 6 outs. The set. Again, he shows bunt, pulls the bat back, takes a strike. They got a chance at first, and they picked him off. Catcher to first, and they pick off the pinch runner.
Caught him leaning.
That is the second pickoff of a Norwell base runner today. One was from the pitcher's mound. This one, catcher to first. And there's 1 away, bases empty, and a 1-1 count, and the ball hit high in the air in the infield. Shortstop Drew Raines calls, makes the catch at the back of the dirt, and that is out number 2.
You hate to say it, but Norwell's been their own worst enemy in this game so far. The 2 pass balls in the first inning, and then the just missed assignments in the last inning when the bases were loaded.
So it's number 9 hitter Cade Thornton, and he takes a fastball at the knees for a called strike. 0-1. We talked about limiting the number of mistakes. Norwell's made more of them, and they trail 1-0. High and outside, Evens the count up 1-1 on Thornton. Struck out his only time up in the third. Came in hitting .246 with a double, no triples, no homers. And the lefty delivers, and that ball high in the air, first base side. First baseman Brody Rondeau calls it in fair territory, makes the catch behind the first base bag, and that retires the Knights here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Knights down to their last 6 outs. They trail it 1-0 as we head to the sixth inning next. It's semi-state baseball from LaPorte on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Northwood comes to bat, top of the sixth inning, leading it 1-0 over the Norwell Knights, and they've got hitters 3, 4, and 5 due up. This sixth inning will be big. I know the game is 7 innings, but you've got meat of the order for Northwood and the top of the order coming up in the bottom half for Norwell. This pitch fouled out of play down the first base side, and quickly an 1-2 count on Finley Miller. Miller, a right-handed batter, facing the right-handed sophomore hurler Dylan Chisholm. And the pitch, big breaking ball and a low bridge for Miller. That ball stayed inside. Miller had to duck under it. Evens the count up 2-2. Stretch, the pitch, and it's gone the distance with a high fastball. 3-2. Miller, Rondeau, and Ransberger, the 3 due up for the Panthers, trying to build on a 1-0 lead, and it's a 6-pitch walk to Finley Miller. That is walk number 5, I believe. Also a hit batter by Chisholm.
And he's danced out of trouble every time except for the first inning with the pass balls.
Walked 2 last inning, and now he leads off the 6th with a walk. So 3 of the last 5 have walked. Bunt shown, bat pulled back, but a strike taken by Rondeau. Miller is a guy that will steal a base and then some. He's got 16 stolen bases this season. He's got the lead off first. They show bunt, curveball taken, throw to first, close play, but he's back. Counts even 1-1 on Rondeau. He has now shown the bunt twice. A 1-0 pitcher's duel. The pitch shows bunt, takes a curveball strike, and again, hesitation. If they didn't hesitate, they might have got him. But a pump by Privet, and then the throw to first, and diving back safely is Miller.
And he double hitched on the throw, too, and that delayed it even further.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to, is if he wouldn't have hitched, he would have had a chance. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and a curveball that just about clipped him.
He didn't make a really great effort to get out of it.
He was going to let it hit him if it was going to stay inside, and it just got across the belt buckle. It's 2-2. Got to throw a strike here, and he doesn't. You don't want to keep going into the 3-2.
Sooner or later, Northwood's going to discover what the bats are for.
Might send Miller here with a 3-2 count. Miller doesn't run. The pitch fouled straight back, and the count stays 3 balls, 2 strikes on the cleanup hitter. 1 for 2 in the game. A single that knocked in the only run of the contest. His 29th driven in this year. And a line out to right. And the 3-2. And that is strike 3, but it goes off the glove. Now he's out. And let's make sure Norwell doesn't throw to first. They don't. But heading to second on the pass ball. A called strike that goes right off the glove of Privet. Can't have that happen. That's what has led to the only run that scored was 2 pass balls.
And you would never have thought you'd really have glad you had a runner on at first base, but in that case you did.
Yeah, because it ends up being the strikeout without the opportunity to run because first base was occupied. And now the runner in scoring position, though, on the pass ball. Brings up Ryder Ransberger, right-handed batter against the right-handed sophomore pitcher, Dylan Chisholm for Norwell. Pitch, fastball just below below the knees on the outside corner, and that's 1-0 now on Ransberger, as Chisholm struggling to consistently find the zone. Nobody up and throwing down the left field line in the Norwell bullpen. Pitch, chopped at the plate, foul.
The way this game has gone on, any run from here on in on either side is going to be crucial.
1-0 game. Northwood with the lead, batting in the top of the 6th inning. And an insurance run out at second base, trying to add to the 1-0 lead. We've got one out and a 1-ball, 1-strike count, and a big curveball that's low and outside. There goes the runner, throw to third, and Miller will beat it. Maybe another pass ball. And that one just a backhand on the curveball that was breaking to the outer, just off the outside corner, and it went off Privet's glove. Miller quickly took off for third, and now he's 90 feet away from adding a huge insurance run, and this pitch lifted out of play. Well, scorecard looks similar to when Northwood scored their run. A walk, a pass ball, and then a base hit to knock him in. And now Miller with the walk, a pass ball, and a pass ball. He's at third. And the pitch, line drive, base hit. Huge run comes in for Northwood. It's past third base, and that's extra bases for Ransberger. He'll round first, head to second. He's got an RBI double, and Northwood now leads it 2-0.
He smoked it. He got a good pitch, and he hit it hard.
RBI number 29 on the year for Ransberger. He and Rondeau both had 28 coming into the game, and both of them have an RBI here.
And we're going to make a pitching change.
And that will be it for Dylan Chisholm. So a new pitcher coming to the mound for the Norwell Knights. It's going to be Braden Huffman, a junior pitcher, who will come in. Huffman on the season, a 2-2 record, a 1.94 earned run average. It's his 11th appearance. He's thrown 18 innings, given up 10 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. He struck out 17 through 18 innings and walked just 4. So he'll be next for Norwell as Northwood has extended the lead. It's now 2-0 with Northwood batting, top of the 6th inning on the high school baseball game of the week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. So Norwell goes to the bullpen. The day is done for Dylan Chisholm, the sophomore, certainly not at fault for the 2-0 deficit that Norwell faces here in the 6th. But you could see about the 5th inning, it started to fall apart a little bit. He was going deeper in counts. He walked a couple of batters in the 5th. He walked the leadoff man here in the 6th, and then gives up a double to Ryder Ransberger, and that knocks in Miller with the second run of the game for Northwood. They had a run in the 1st and now add a run here in the 6th. And the Panthers trying to go back-to-back years of ending the Norwell Knights season. So Braden Huffman, the new Norwell pitcher. Huffman will face Drew Raines. First pitch, curveball, little high for ball 1. Ransberger, who just knocked in a run with an RBI double, takes the lead off second. And the 1-0 pitch to Raines, taken for a ball low and inside, 2-0. Taking a peek ahead, bottom half of the inning. You've got the top of the order due up for Norwell. The 2-0. Out. Nope, that's on the outside corner. A generous outside corner. 2-1.
Northwood has just 2 hits, but in each case, it's driven in a run.
Check of the runner. The 2-1 on its way, and it's grounded to third. Scoop by Jolly, the third baseman. Throw to first in time, and the runner stays put at second base on the 5-3 putout.
Nice check of the runner to make sure that happened. He looked him back to make sure he was headed back to the bag, as knew he had enough time to get that throw over and get the batter.
2 outs, runner still at second for Jet Ruley.
Got to keep the
0 for 2.
Damage has got to be held to this, or just really that way.
Ruley, a ground out to the pitcher and a strikeout. He's 0 for 2 in the game. Started the day with a 279 average. The set for Hoffman, and the pitch. Breaking ball in for a strike. Just clipped the top of the zone. A run in the first, a run here in the sixth. A 2-0 Northwood lead. Set the pitch, and that's grounded out to short, and it goes right through Castle into left field. Rounding third is Ransberger. The throw to the plate, not in time, and an error leads to the third run of the game for Northwood. 3-0 Panthers, still batting here in the sixth.
Right fielder, Brady Weaver.
Pretty routine, Dean, and
right through the wicket.
Went right through him and into left field. And so Ransberger, who had doubled in a run, now scores a run himself. 2 across here in the sixth, and these are huge runs for Northwood. 3-0 Panthers with Brady Weaver chopping it to first base. Over to his right is McBride. He will flip to Huffman covering, and that will end the inning. But a couple of runs, big ones score here in the sixth for Northwood. On one base hit, you had an error and a runner left. After 5.5, it is 3-0 Northwood, now leading it over the Norwell Knights on the high school baseball game of the week, the Class 3A LaPorte Semi-State on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Bottom of the sixth with a 3-0 Northwood lead over Norwell, and the biggest threat for the Knights so far in this game came when the top of the order batted in the fourth inning. They got 3 aboard, loaded the bases with 1 out, but failed to score. And now they've got the top of the order coming up here in the bottom of the sixth, starting with William Case, the senior second baseman. And a curveball comes over the outside corner for strike 1. Case is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out.
You got to think, if Norwell does not come on and go on and win this game or make the comeback, there are so many places where this could have gone the other way.
Low and inside, evens the count 1-1. Well, for Norwell, you've got hitters, the 4 hitters that are due up, 395, 371, 400, and 395. This one bad handled toward second base. Charging is Leckleitner, and he'll throw to first. And 1 out. 1 batter up, 1 out, and it brings up Noah Shammerlow.
I almost thought that first baseman came off the bag with that throw, but that was not the call at first base, and he's much closer to it than we are.
So it'll be Shammerlow stepping into the left-handed batter's box against the southpaw Finley Miller, who has gone the distance for the Northwood Panthers. And the first pitch, fastball low and inside for ball 1. Shammerlow, a strikeout and hit by a pitch. Ball that clipped him on the hand back in the fourth.
Miller's lit a charmed life out there.
The 1-0, and that's hit in the air to left, but right at Ian Bogan. He takes about 2 steps back, reaches up, makes the catch, and there's 2 away for Norwell here in the bottom of the sixth.
Shortstop, Dean Castle.
Bases empty with 2 outs for Caden Castle. Senior shortstop. Lined out to center and a base hit up the middle back in the fourth. The lefty winds up and brings the pitch, and that is high and inside for ball 1. Castle slightly open stance with the 1-0, and it's inside outed, foul ground right field side, and it goes over the fence to the fans for the Northwood Panthers. Plenty of red on that first base side. We'll see some more red coming up in game number 2 with Andrean and DeKalb. Comes the pitch. Fisted right back out to second base. Leitner, the throw, and the side retired. An easy 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the 6th with the top of the order for Norwell. We go to the final inning. Inning number 7, Northwood a 3-0 lead, and they will come to bat next on the high school baseball game of the week, the Class 3A semi-state semifinal, presented by Shelton Financial Group and PSM Baseball on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. To the 7th inning we go with Northwood leading at 3-0 over the Norwell Knights. This is the final inning of high school baseball. Northwood with a run in the first, added a couple more in the 6th, and they've got a cushion, and they're looking to add to it with hitters 4, 5, and 6 due up.
Bluffton has won its semi-state semifinal game over Lafayette Central Catholic 1-0, doing it on a walk-off blue single by Grayson Crowder. So interesting time for the Tigers today.
Blackhawk Christian a winner in their semifinal. Both teams will be playing for a chance to get a ticket to Indy for next week's state finals. So Trey Privet, or correction, it's Northwood, and this ball's going to be hit into left field. A fly ball that Costello camps under. It's Brady Blackford that started it off for Northwood, and Blackford a fly out to left, 1 out, top of the 7th. Top of the order, Ian Bogan, and his day has been consistent at the plate. A walk in the first, a walk in the third, a walk in the 5th, and now he's batting here in the 7th. A different pitcher with Braden Huffman came out of the pen in the last inning, and a pitch just misses off the outside edge for ball 1. Bogan, a left-handed batter, Huffman, a right-handed pitcher, and the 1-0. That's in there at the knees on the outside corner to even it up. A ball and a strike on Bogan. 307 average on the year with a double and a triple. And the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a tailing fastball. Huffman not overpowering, but has a lot of movement. Kind of snaps the pitch in there, and it gets a lot of spin. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that one right off the end of the bat. That's cued into foul ground on the third base side.
He just barely got a tip of that one. Literally a tip.
1 out, base is empty. A ball and 2 strikes on Ian Bogan. And that one lifted into the seats down the third base side. Count stays 1-2 on the leadoff man for Northwood. 18-12-1 record. Looking to make it 19 wins here in the semi-state semifinal. The pitch, curveball, that's low and inside.
He looked on that one all the way in, too. You can see him just lowering his head, making sure of the flight.
Counts even 2-2. Huffman from the stretch. And again, that tailing fastball, and Bogan just reaches out, flares it into the foul ground behind the third base dugout. It's the sign, Huffman to the stretch and the pitch. Lifted weakly in the air, left side. Back is shortstop Caden Kessel, and Kessel will go back into the grass, make the catch right in front of his left fielder, Carter Costello, and there's 2 away.
Designated hitter, Sade Yoder.
So a couple of balls in the air for 2 outs here in the 7th, and with the bases empty, it's Sade Yoder, the designated hitter, who is 0 for 3. Flew out to center, a fielder's choice, and struck out back in the 5th. And a fastball's inside for ball 1. Finley Miller, 460 hitter, still hitless, but he did walk and score a run back in the 6th. He would be next for Northwood if they can extend the inning. The pitch turned over, and it breaks tails a little off the plate, low and outside, and it's 2-0 now on Yoder. Braden Huffman, the junior reliever, fires a fastball, paints the black on the outer edge to make it 2-1. Coming up in the bottom of the 7th, hitters 4, 5, and 6 due up for Norwell. This one lifted in the air again, left field. Charging Costello, and he'll get to it and make the catch in shallow left field. 1, 2, 3, down go the Panthers. Now it's up to Norwell. Last chance for the Knights. Bottom of the 7th, trailing 3-0. We've got it for you next on the high school baseball game of the week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Last chance for the Norwell Knights. They trail it 3-0 to the Northwood Panthers. Norwell trying to avoid back-to-back losses to this Northwood squad in back-to-back years at the LaPorte Semi-State. They'll send up hitters 4, 5, and 6 to face the left-handed ace, Finley Miller. Miller has pitched brilliantly. You can see a little fatigue over the last couple of innings, but he worked out of a huge 4th inning jam when the bases were loaded with 1 out and Norwell failed to score after a bunt was popped up in foul ground and caught, and then a strikeout looking. And Norwell stranded the bases full, and to this point, that's been their best chance to score. It's one of the few chances they've had to score.
I was going to say, I can't remember the other one that was even close.
Norwell, no runs on 3 hits. Northwood, 3 runs on 3 hits. And Privet in the batter's box. The first pitch is up high for ball 1. Miller, a junior left-hander on the mound. Trey Privet, the catcher, swings and misses at a fastball. That evens it up 1-1. Privet, the cleanup hitter for Norwell. 1 homer on the year, and he'll foul that out of play, and it's a ball and 2 strikes now on Privet. Strikeout and a single so far in the game. He's 1 for 2. Miller, the sign, the windup, and the pitch. Fastball outside. Evens it up 2-2 with Privet, followed by Drew Jolly and Carter Costello. Long look in. Now he's ready. And the 2-2 pitch is a breaking ball outside, and it's 3-2. Privet. Well, you certainly set some tone if you can get a leadoff man aboard. Here comes the payoff. And it's lifted shallow left field, and that will drop in front of left fielder Ian Bogan, and the leadoff man is aboard with a 3-2 single to left. And Norwell has some life, down 3-0 here in the bottom of the 7th.
That's a start. They need a few more base runners.
Drew Jolly. Critical at bat in the 4th when he popped up a bunt in foul ground that was caught by Ryder Ransberger, the Northwood catcher, with the bases loaded. And he lines it into center field over his center fielder, Brady Blackford. He'll be there to make the catch. Hit it on the button, but he almost hit it too hard. It stayed in the air for Blackford to drift to his left and make the catch. And that is out number 1 here in the 7th.
That is the exact thing that happened, because he hit it so hard it continued to rise, and it rose hard enough to be able to float out there to be grabbed.
Pitch hitting for the Knights, number 30.
So Carter Costello is due up, and they'll send a pinch hitter in his place. It'll be Hunter Kurtz. Kurtz, a 175 average. Bats from the right side, slightly open stance. And the pitch is taken for a strike. 0-1. Kurtz is a freshman for the Knights. Privet, the leadoff first. The lefty goes to the stretch and brings the 0-1 pitch, and it's a curveball that's swung on and missed for strike 2. One out. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Norwell trailing 3-0. Finley Miller trying to finish a complete game shutout. And the pitch outside. Kurtz wouldn't extend the zone, so it's 1-2 on Hunter Kurtz. Lefty on the mound, a right-handed batter at the plate. The stretch and the 1-2. Outside, 2-2. Good discipline, laying off a couple of pitches just off the outer edge, and it's evened up 2-2 on Kurtz, the freshman pinch hitter. Privet, the lead. The pitch, and that's fouled straight back into the screen behind home, and the count stays 2-2 on Hunter Kurtz, batting for Carter Costello here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Privet led off the inning with a little Texas League single over the shortstop's head into shallow left. And the pitch, curveball. That's lifted and foul out of play. Hanging tough at the plate, Kurtz still with a 2-2 count. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Check of the runner. The 2-2. Again, he fouls it out of play. Good battle for the freshman, Hunter Kurtz, pinch hitting here in the bottom of the 7th inning with his team down 3-0 to Northwood. Winner here will go to tonight's championship. Play the winner of DeKalb and Drayen coming up next. 2-2. Outside, 3-2. Really good looking at bat for Kurtz.
Great discipline.
Miller has tried to get him to bite on that pitch just off the outside corner, and he hasn't done it yet. And then he does. He swings and misses at the 3-2 and goes down with the strikeout.
High heat. Where have you ever met the batter can stay off high heat?
So 2 outs, runner at first, and Northwood an out away from a shutout victory over Norwell here in the first semifinal. And let's see if it's another pinch hitter. Nope, it's Noah Clark. Clark 0 for 1, a fly out and a walk. And the pitch to Clark. It's outside for ball 1. Might have been a pinch runner. I didn't see if they put a runner over at first.
Well, he won't turn around, so we can't tell.
Privet, the catcher. Here's the pitch, and that's high in the air. This should do it. Shortstop Drew Raines drifts out into the grass. He'll make the catch, and that's the ball game. The Northwood Panthers win their 19th game of the year, and they defeat the Norwell Knights here at the Class 3A Semi-State in LaPorte by a final score of 3-0. Finley Miller, the junior left-hander, goes the distance for the Panthers. A 3-hit shutout, or a 4-hit shutout. They add the extra hit from the 7th inning. A 4-hit shutout, and Northwood gets a single run in the first, and then the 2 big runs that came across in the 6th inning to provide some insurance. And for the 2nd consecutive year, it's Northwood that ends the Norwell Knights season here at the LaPorte Class 3A Semi-State. We'll come back and wrap up the Game 1 broadcast next. This is high school baseball. Class 3A Semi-State being presented by PSM Baseball and Shelton Financial Group on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. The Norwell Knights season comes to an end here at the LaPorte 3A Semi-State. In a semifinal, they fall to Northwood for the 2nd consecutive year. Final score, Panthers 3 and the Knights 0. Running through this game, we talked about mistakes could be huge at this level of baseball, and that truly panned out because pass balls were critical.
Twice.
In the first inning, Ian Bogan got on base by a a walk, and then a pass ball got him to second. Another pass ball got him to third, and then he came in on a 2-out single to give the Panthers a 1-0 lead. It stood that way until the 6th when Finley Miller led off with a walk, and then he had a pass ball to second, another pass ball to third, and then he scored on a 1-out double by Ryder Ransberger. Ransberger himself then came in to score with 2 outs on a critical error, the only one of the game for Norwell, but it came at just a terrible time because it allowed Northwood to score their 3rd run with 2 outs in the 6th inning. And the 2nd run of the inning, and it ended up giving Northwood the 3-0 lead, which they carried the rest of the way thanks to the left arm of Finley Miller, who finished off the shutout and improves his record to 6-1 on the season. Norwell starter Dylan Chisholm, the sophomore, had a little bit of a rough start, but man, he cruised through about 4 innings of work until he got to the 6th and ran into some trouble. But for Chisholm, he takes the loss. He's now 5-3, finishing up his season. But overall, just a classic pitcher's duel at the semi-state level.
Well, and again, we talked about it, and we've talked about it throughout the broadcast. Mistakes. You can't have mistakes. And those did Norwell in. But what really did Norwell in is that 4th inning, where they really had them there with the bases loaded and 1 out and could not get a single guy home. And when that happened, that kind of sort of spelled that how this was going to turn out. So non-opportunistic team by Norwell. Key mistakes when they really, really hurt. And that's why Norwell's going home.
Yeah, in that 4th inning for Norwell, they had 1 out and a hit by pitch, put a runner on, followed by a single and another single. So they had the bases loaded with 1 out. And a popped-up bunt in foul ground was caught, and a strikeout ended the inning. And Norwell left the bases loaded in the 4th, and that was when it was still a 1-0 game. And Northwood then took over the momentum. They rode it through the rest of the way, and the final score, 3-0 Northwood over Norwell. Coming up at about 35 minutes from now, we're going to have the DeKalb Barons taking on the Andrean 59ers. And of course, our thoughts with Andrean. Their school and athletic facilities took a real beating with those storms the other day. And you wonder, it's sometimes great medicine to be able to play a game like this, or sometimes you're still thinking about things, because that had to be quite a traumatic night for Andrean to have the tornado go right through their high school in Merrillville. But they will be perhaps a slight favorite against the DeKalb Barons coming up here in game number 2. Well,
your young kids, and those are traumatic times, and you got to think it wasn't just the school, the community took some hits as well. So you got to wonder if some kids' homes were involved with that, or injuries to loved ones or friends or things like that. So all that thing comes into play, but maybe this is the best thing for the Andrean kids to come in, put that in the back pocket for one day and go play some baseball.
Big thanks to Adam Lundy, our studio producer, and to Dean Pantazi. I am Brett Rump. Again, our final here in the first semifinal is Northwood 3, Norwell 0. DeKalb Andrean coming your way just after 2 o'clock here at LaPorte. This has been high school baseball being presented by PSM Baseball and Shelton Financial Group on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.